Joined in here. 1 second. Do 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 do. Awesome, awesome, awesome. All right, good, good, good. All right, well, I hope everybody had a wonderful and blessed weekend. Awesome. And we are here tonight live with Algo 382 with Paul for our Elliott Wave Show, Riding the Waves with John and Paul. So I hope everybody's doing great. Paul, are you out there?
Hey, how's it going? Yeah, thanks, John. Ready to
Awesome.
go?
Good, good. Glad you can make it. Can we get a quick sound check? Was everybody able to hear Paul there?
Hey, how's it going out there? Sunday night.
Paul's joining us live here. Nice, Gregory. Had a good weekend. Nice, Cecilia. Thank you so much. Thanks, Gregory. Appreciate it. Gregory, appreciate it. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Good to see you. Thanks for tuning in. All right, so here we are. We're live with Paul Algo 382 from Colorado, and we're continuing our series on the weekly Elliott Wave analysis, Riding the Waves with John and Paul. So looking forward to today. So today's key topic that we're going to talk about is the importance of the 618 retrace. So we're going to be talking about that a little bit this week. But before we do that, everything we're going to talk about is for educational purposes only and not investment advice. So please take a moment to review this disclaimer. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Good, good, good. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to do what we always do. We're going to take a look and see where we left off with the market on Friday, and then we're going to take a look at the futures and see what they're up to or down to here this evening and what we might have going on into the rest of the night and into tomorrow morning. And then we're going to get into the topic and talk about the 618 and go over a few Elliott Wave setups that we're both looking at. And looking forward to that. And then if we have time, we'll go through some questions and chart requests. So again, guys, thanks everybody for tuning in, and let's get started. So SPX, as we kind of wind down the month of December here, we're running into a holiday week this week. Guys, don't forget, we have a short week this week. Christmas Eve is going to be a half day, should end at 1 o'clock, and then, of course, Christmas, the market is closed, and then we got a weekend, right? So expect a little bit of light volume going into this week. Just be careful with trades out there. Don't forget, like back at the end of 2018, or was it 2019? We had that big flush. I think it was 2018. We had the big flush, and then it ended up reversing after Christmas, right? So keep that in mind there too. So we'll see how that goes there. But so far, SPX chart ended up down a little bit on Friday. We had quad witching day on Friday, so it's kind of a crazy day. Try not to read too much into it, because that's just a lot of options getting assigned and pinning and positioning, stuff like that. So we should get a little more clarity, and of course, in the new year, we should get some clarity as well. SPX on the weekly chart, right? We're still kind of grinding our way up right here. We had this crazy week right here that broke over that resistance level. We got this doji sandwich. We're kind of sort of working our way up off of that. But again, it's kind of this slow moving type situation right here. The RSI still has not gotten overbought yet, so it is possible that this weekly chart could continue to work its way up. The daily chart, if we got some Elliott Wave on here, right? So obviously we had that big impulsive move up since the Corona crash reversal, and then we had this ABC formation. We had this impulsive wave on up here, which is that crazy week up, which got over all those resistance levels, right? And then it clearly gave us a reversal candle right here, this shooting star, and gave a little bit of a down, but didn't get a lot of follow through on it. Left us a lot of open gaps below, but kind of gave us this ABC wave 2 and this 1-2 formation, right? And then it looks like it did a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here for a subwave 3. Looks like this pullback here could have been a wave 4, and this week maybe we're in a 1-2, 1-2 going into this week, trying to finish up this wave, subwave 5 of 3. So we'll see how that goes here as we're continuing to be contained by the channel, and we did bounce off the ADMA on Friday. So we got that going into this week. So we'll see if the impulsiveness continues. If not, right, we could possibly say this is a truncated fifth, and then they might start working its way down. Okay, so let's take a look at the price action on Friday. Obviously, quad witching day, right? So a big flush here at the open. It wasn't easy, right? There's a lot of big bounces on the way down, and then they finally bounced it here for a nice retrace here. If we if we take a look at this, if we go to the highs, to the lows, we see it's about a 50% retrace, right? Not one of our favorites right here, but once it pushed back down under the ADMA and the 382, we saw some nice downside action, and then you had the end of the day shenanigans there where they kind of ripped it into the close. So kind of cool stuff there. And here's the levels that we provide to our members. You can see we got through most of the levels right here, but we held the closing gap and the S3 as potential support, and then once it broke down there, we got a little more downside action before they rallied it back up into the prior day's range before rejecting it. Let's take a look at the S&P futures and see how they're doing here this evening. So far they're a little bit cranky. It looks like they're working on passing the stimulus bill here, and they might be selling the news into this, or we could be looking at kind of this falling wedge type pattern. So we'll see if they break out of there. Just keep an eye on this geometric level going into tonight. They may want to come back and retest the scene of that breakout at the end of the day to see how that goes. Not sure if they're going to do it overnight, but we may see it. We may see it tomorrow. So it's a possibility. We'll see how it goes, and we'll just kind of keep an eye on our geometric levels and follow those, and also keep an eye on our wave counts. So good stuff there. So that brings us to our show for tonight, where we are riding the waves with John and Paul. And we've got Paul here with us here tonight, and so let's take a look and see. So the topic that we want to talk about is the 618. Right, so the Fibonacci 618 retrace is a very, very powerful one. It shows up a lot in Elliott wave. Oftentimes it shows up when the wave 2 is done, right? That's the most common retracement for a wave 2. So Paul, what you got tonight? You got anything on the radar here to talk about the 618?
Sure. I got a few charts. Wave 2 retracing the 618. The first one I have is PLTR.
PLTR. This has been a wild name. Lots of options traded on this one. In fact, a few weeks ago, this had the most equity options traded in a day, which is pretty incredible.
Yeah, a lot of people have been playing it. We had a nice wave 3 up and a wave 4 down. Then we had a wave up. Wave 2 down is right at the 618, another push up, and the second wave is kind of at the 618. So we got two 618 retraces, 3 higher lows, including wave 4. So this looks bullish.
Nice. The only thing I can see on that one is if potentially it breaks down below the 618 and can't hold in the golden zone, it might be a larger C pattern that's kind of working on there.
Yeah, we could ABC down to the 786 exactly. Yep.
Nice. Cool. All right. Well, good. Well, so that shows how important those 618s are.
Yeah, let's see what else I got here. How about Rocket?
RKT. This is another hot one too. This thing has been trying to break out. You can kind of see that cupish type handle pattern right there. It tried to give a little push out there, kind of came back in the range. And looks like you got the 4 hour chart there on RKT.
Yeah, we got the 4 hour. We got a nice 1-2-1-2. We had this impulse up, broke through the trend line. And then we got a wave 2 retrace right to the 618. The previous wave 2 was also in the golden zone. So this is another 618 setup.
Very nice. Yeah, so that's a lot of times, guys, when you see the 618, look to see if it was an impulsive move that got you there before you got to that pullback. And then a lot of times you can see a wave 2 off of those. Paul, if you don't mind, I'd like to pull up a chart on one that I think looks interesting going into this week.
Sure.
All right, so let's take a look here, guys. So some pretty wild news came out on Friday. So it turns out that Microsoft is working on their own processors, right? And this ended up hitting Intel the hardest. So let's take a look at Intel here on the daily chart. I just want to kind of show this to you guys. What a daily candle on Intel. That thing got smashed on Friday. So guys, this is an impulsive move. Okay, so this is a very important name to track going into this week, right? We could see some more momentum downside follow through, but we want to counter waves on it, right? So if we go here, just kind of to the hourly chart, you can see just how big this move was going into the week, right? So it wasn't necessarily unheard of, right? But this very well could be a wave, 1, 2, subwave 3 down. So let's kind of keep an eye on this one and see if we get a 382 retrace or a 618 on this one. If we look at where it started here, back on the 4th of December, right, we can kind of see here, look at this, guys, right off of the 618 on the way down. So again, it had a big gap down right here, right? That was an impulsive move down, right? And you can kind of see you have this A, B, C formation, right, type style. And so that was right off of the 618. That kind of got things going again to the downside. So the market always gives us clues. Price action always gives us clues when it looks like there's going to be more movement, right? And so even here, even if you shorted off of the 618 here, that was still a good move. If off of this one here, it was decent, right? And obviously it got some follow through the downside. So even here, right, you can see that was right off of the 382 off of that and gave a nice move. But again, overall, it was right off of the 618. So keep an eye on Intel going into this week. It could be a very, very interesting one to keep on the short radar. And Paul, what else you got?
Let's see here. How about, there's a few 618 setups. Another nice one is Facebook.
Yeah, so Facebook put in this crazy daily hammer the other day, and it just didn't get any follow through from it. So I'm wondering if maybe it's gearing up for another move.
Yeah, we had this wave 1 up, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We had a wave two down and it kind of played around right at the 618. It looks like we're getting a bounce now, so we could be in wave three up with Facebook.
Nice. I like the pitchfork you have on there too.
Yeah, right. The pitchfork support and the 618.
Cool. Definitely one to keep an eye on the radar too. Also, Facebook came out with some news on Friday as well. It didn't really have a big impact on Zoom. Apparently, they're coming out with more video streaming stuff, and so we were looking to see if it gave a little bit more of a hit on Zoom. But it's definitely something to kind of keep an eye on there on Facebook. I mean, maybe we'll see an upgrade on it or something like that. So if we do see some sort of crazy gap up on it, look for that to be the a trigger for a wave three up.
Yep. Yep. Nice. Let's see. I got one more here. Let's see.
Okay.
US.
QS.
This is a little different take on the 618. But we had our 1, 2, 3, and then a wave 4 retrace, and we're on our way up. And a lot of people are like, are we really going up? Or are we going to do an ABC? And the way I look at it is I put the bearish 618 in here, which is only 61% of wave 4 measure top to bottom.
Sure.
So price is going up, it's going up, it's going up. When it hits this bearish 618, there should be a pause. And if it's strong, the bulls will push right through it. Or the 618 could kick in and boom, they kick us down in a wave C down here to this alternate 4.
Nice. So there's a couple possibilities on this. We definitely want to watch either 618 for sure. So again, the wave C down wouldn't be such a bad bounce area there off of that 618 to the downside. But I like how you drew the 618 from the wave 3 just to kind of look at it and be like, hey, maybe this is an ABC getting ready to push its way back down. Great to have an alternate count on it. It's but again, the price action around those levels is going to be really key for sure.
Right, right.
So nice. So the only other one I kind of have on the radar going into this week, Elliott wave-wise, is Boeing. So we've been talking about this one on the last couple shows here, and Boeing. You guys know Boeing can be a little bit funky, right? So again, we broke out of this crazy consolidated. I mean, it's not really a triangle, but basically like this triangulated geometric lines right here, and then we got this nice impulsive move up right here, right? We talked about that. So we said this is looks like a wave 1, 2, 3, 4, right, and then 5. And we thought maybe wave 5 would continue to work its way up here, right? But I really wanted to see it hold and not, start to retrace below a couple of these levels because of the subwaves, right? So what we were hoping here is this was a wave 1, 2, and it actually could be, right? So there is an alternate count on here. So we do have, if this was the first impulsive wave right here, we are kind of holding on to the 618, but we better hold because we're right in the golden zone right now of that pullback. So let's see if we can get above this geometric line, hold that golden zone, and see if Boeing is actually willing to work its way back up here to kind of be like this. Maybe this is your wave 1 and this is your wave 2 pullback, and this thing's ready to go. But again, Boeing is really sensitive with a lot of news recently. I mean, again, stimulus has been coming out, which has been helping a little bit. But also, if this wave is done, if wave 5 is done, we may see sort of like an A, B, C type pullback as well. So let's just kind of keep an eye on Boeing going into this week too. So good stuff, awesome. So I think that 618 is a really, really key level to look at, especially if you guys are trading Elliott Wave out there. So definitely keep it on your radar, and oftentimes the 618 appears on a wave 2 pullback. So good stuff, Paul. I really appreciate it. Great insight on that, and some great charts that we can look forward to look at this week. So at this point now, if anybody has any questions or chart requests, we can try to get through as many as we can, and see what we come up with here tonight. How's that sound, Paul?
Sounds good. Let's do some requests.
Awesome. Well, Shirley sent a few out there, and Shirley, again, I hope you're doing well. You got a few out there that are looking pretty interesting. I'm going to take a shot at Fedex, and Paul, I'd like to give you the opportunity to take a look at LRCX.
LRCX, okay.
Let me jump on Fedex here real quick and just kind of see how that's looking here. So they just had earnings the other day, right? We were kind of looking at, obviously had this really impulsive, the daily chart, right? Had this big impulsive move up. We kind of had this ABC correction right here. So at this point, right, this looks like a pretty impulsive wave up right here. You can count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up. So that could be a wave 1, right? And at this point now, we'll just kind of keep an eye out here for the 618 on it and see how it holds. So it bounced right to the 618 right here. It seems to be holding. So let's see if that can continue to consolidate there and show some bullish action to the upside, right? Because this does look like an A, B, C type move, right? And then we'll see if this can work on a fresh impulsive wave up on Fedex. So nice find there, Shirley. I really appreciate it. Great stuff. And good. And Paul, LRCX.
LRCX. I'm bringing this up on weight basis. I don't actually have a count on it,
Oh,
but
you know what? I was thinking it was going to be Regeneron. I need to ask you about
oh,
Regeneron.
regen. No, regen. I got.
LRCX there. Yeah, we can see it's trying to work its way up for sure. Let's take a look at Regeneron as another one to look at too.
Yeah, Regeneron's a fun one. I got a nice count on there. Let's see.
So Regeneron, guys, that's the one that was pulling back to that crazy channel. And it starting to work its way up? Is the real question right here. Now remember, Paul called this one here first. So again, it pushed a little bit below the channel, gave us a little bit of a bounce. So now let's see what might be happening here.
Yeah, I like this one. I mean, it took forever for this wave five of C of Y of 4 to finish, but this is a complete wave 4. We had a long ABC. Then we had this impulsive move up, this wave 1. We had a little, looks like an ABC wave 2. It didn't quite hit the 618, but it's between the 50 and the 618. It looks like to me we're in 1, 2, 3 like sub wave 4, but I believe the trend is up. I think we're in wave 5 going up.
Nice. Definitely another one to keep an eye on there. Thanks, Shirley. I really appreciate it. Samara, what's going on? Good to see you. Thanks for tuning in. Hey, appreciate it. Yeah, so you've got FSLY and Snow.
Interesting. I think I got a good one on snow.
Okay,
Let's see.
cool. And I'll take a look at FSLY.
Yeah, snow's been a fun one. Let me
So those are
see.
wow. That's a wild one. I know folks in the group are doing really well on it, guys. So again, if anybody's not a part of the group, Paul is available in Discord during the day. You'll be able to. There's a link in the YouTube channel here to join Paul in the Discord. And also we work together on the Bubble Report, which comes out each morning, each market morning before 7:30, as long as Google's working, and as long as Gmail's not down, and Paul puts out 2 fresh wave counts each morning. You might have noticed if you guys follow Paul on Twitter, he still puts a lot of great content out on Twitter. But he reserved some of his favorite charts for the Discord room and also in the Bubble Report. And he came up with a lot of great stuff this week, including Plug, which we talked about on the show last week, is just an incredible mover, and folks did really well on that. So, but Snow is another one that folks in the group like to trade.
Okay. I got this one on extended hours just because we had a nice retrace here for a wave 2 of 618. We ended up coming up to finish wave 1. We came down for wave 2. And I have us going up into 1-2-1-2. This could go down and this count could change a little bit to just 1-1-2. But it looks like the trend is up.
Nice. Definitely keep an eye on Snow. Good stuff there. And then let me take a look at FSOY. So FSOY is an interesting one. So not only do we have an Elliott Wave channel in our Discord, but we also have kind of the main chat where we go live at the open and the close, and we talk about stocks throughout the day. And FSOY is one that members really like. Personally, I'm not in terms of day trading this name. For me, I'm not a huge fan of the spreads on it. But sometimes this thing can give some really big impulsive moves, right? So you had this big inside 15 up intraday here on Friday. With a really nice move up there, and folks did well on that for especially a Friday type move. Now again, FSOY is working its way into its big gap right here. So not to be Buzz Killington on this one, but it has made a nice move up right here. But keep in mind, I still have the bearish count from the gap down here, and here's that 618 right here at this 108.40 level. So this is going to be a very important area for FSOY to try to get above if it wants to fill that gap. So definitely one to keep an eye on there. Thanks, Samar. I really appreciate it. And Gregory, thanks again for tuning in. Cecilia, thanks for being here. I really appreciate it. Prayer Kid, what's happening? Good to see you. Reed, Fred, what's going on? Laura, what's happening? Good to see you. You want to see Fedex? We just looked at Fedex. So cool. So hopefully you got to catch that one, and I hope you have a wonderful Christmas. Thanks so much. And wow, what's going on? You've got a request out there for Workhorse. Paul, I know you've charted that a few
Workhorse.
times.
Workhorse I got. Yeah, we're watching this one. Let me find it. It's putting in a really long wave 2 here. Let's see, Workhorse.
Speaking of workhorse, Paul is the workhorse. You do tons of wave counts in the group and really help a lot of people out. So again, everybody just wants to thank you for your time and dedication.
Yeah, I appreciate it. I like where I'm at. It's a lot of fun.
Awesome, man. That's great.
Yeah, but anyway, here's Workhorse. We had a big wave 1 up, ABC down for wave 2. I got these fibs on the other side, but it did quit in the golden zone. Then we had this wave 1 up, and we've been stuck in this wave 2 for a long time. I believe price is going to dip down into the golden zone before we go up, but it's been tricky. It's just coiling, and it's getting ready to pop.
Very nice, very nice. Is it possible that that's a wave B triangle?
a wave B triangle. We could have
See
an
if that
A.
instead of that wave two, maybe that was the A, like a kind of a larger A, like sort of this A B C A, and then B triangle, and then maybe we'll see a C pullback before this thing starts to work its way up again.
I think that counts well. Sure.
That could work too. So yeah,
Yeah,
this is a tricky name.
it is. It has been tricky.
Look at those upper shadows too. This is a tough one. This is a tough one. But yeah,
Yeah.
definitely want to keep an eye on there, see how it holds that zone there too. And again, the bottom of that box there could be a wave C. So either way, it could be a bullish count.
Right. Right. Yeah.
Nice. Good stuff. Thanks, I wow. Appreciate it. Neil, what's going on? Microsoft, Apple, Neo, and Laser. Paul, which one of those do you want to take a stab at?
Let's see. How about? I think I got a chart on Microsoft here.
Nice.
Let's see.
Microsoft has been all over the place recently. But now they got their processor stuff coming out there that gave Intel a little bit of a run for its money. Let's see if Microsoft is ready to make a move.
Okay. Yeah. Let me put this on a 2 hour. I think it is. We had a pretty clean impulse here. 1 2 1 2, then the 1 2 3, and then this flag. It looks like we're in a wave 4. I'm watching this for a flag break out of here. I think we're going to get a wave, actually a wave 5 of 3 up out of Microsoft.
Nice. Definitely want to keep an eye on there. So, guys, let me show you Apple real quick. I got to show Apple. So, so Apple, guys, daily chart. Now, anything could happen here, right? But if you go to the daily candles right here, we got an evening star reversal that popped up here on Apple, right? So, what's an evening star reversal? It's a 3-candle setup, right? You have a green candle, you've got a red candle where the real body is above the prior real body right here, and then you have a red candle right here that closes below 50% of the first candle. Okay, so we definitely see that right here on Apple. So, and it's been kind of trending its way up right here. So that's just sort of a candlestick move. Now, evening star reversals have a pretty high percentage chance of follow through the downside, right? So I think it runs close to the upper 60 percentile on that. So it's definitely something to keep an eye on right there. Now, a couple of good things though, that it is holding, it's above the 80 MA right here, so that's good. It might just be a reasonable pullback, right? And this could be kind of an impulsive move up right here, kind of a wave 1 2, and it might be working on sort of just this 1 2 1 2 type formation too. But just keep an eye on that. Just keep that in consideration right here. We're holding the 382 so far. If it does pull back to the 618, that does count as follow through the downside of the evening star reversal. Just a little bit of caution on Apple going into this week. It still hasn't got back over its macro trend line, so a little bit of caution right there. But it does look like it's trying to impulse up. But just be careful of this chart pattern right here. Also, something to be careful about too is oftentimes evening star reversals do pull back before working their way down. So if we get an upside movement right here, you'll definitely want to watch this 128.25 level off of the 618, just in case it's ready to reverse down off of that and get some continuation off of that evening star reversal. So good stuff. Appreciate it, Neil. Thanks so much. Michael, what's going on? The 618 is your new favorite number. I love it. USA, check out WBA.
WBA. Let me see here.
You have anything on Walgreens boots?
Walgreens. Let's
Oh, there
see.
you go. You got something right there. You got a 618 right there.
We've been watching this one for a while, and it's another one that's just taking its time here. This looks like a complex correction for wave 2. But yeah, we came right down to the 618, and we're just kind of messing around here. This could be a sub wave 1 and wave 2, and it could be up from here. You see with the extended hours, not showing much on there.
Yeah. So
But
just keep an
I think
eye.
I think wave 2 could be in, and we could be going up from here. We just got to see what kind of price action we get tomorrow.
Yeah. Look for impulsive waves. Great stuff. J&J, the dyno is moving. I love it. Good stuff, Michael. I appreciate it. Let's do this. IBM. Now, that's an interesting one. Paul, have you done one on IBM? If not, I'll take a shot at it.
Go for it. I don't think I have a recent chart there.
IBM's a tough one, guys. It's generally been working its way up, right? So I mean, we are holding the ADMA right here. It's getting pretty tight. It's had an interesting reversal here recently, right? So we've had this, kind of 1 2, maybe a little 3 4. Let's kind of keep an eye on it right here. It's getting really tight. What I would do here is just look and see if that is going to be a wave forward and work on maybe a wave forward triangle right here, and it's going to work on a tighter move up. Look for a breakout on that with some volume. It kind of hung in there on Friday, but it might want to work its way to the scene of the breakdown on that. So just something to keep an eye on there. IBM, really appreciate it. So good stuff. Sebastian, what's going on? So you got HD and CRM. I know, Paul, I think CRM, I know you've been tracking that one.
Oh, Cream's a good one. Cream is a good one. Let me see here. Okay, Cream. Okay, yeah, what's interesting here is we've had this wave 1 up, and I was waiting for a 618 retrace, and honestly, we didn't get it. Let me see for the 618 retrace. We came up a little bit short here. Let's see. Here's the 618 retrace, and we didn't come anywhere near it. No matter where you put the wave one, we really did not get much of a retrace for cream. But
Interesting.
it's an impulsive move up. It's in wave three. Very possible we just happened to get a very shallow retrace, and we're going up from here.
Nice. And we got that big gap above too.
Yeah, big gap to fill.
And
Yeah,
again, they had good earnings. The only reason they're really down is because they're shelling out so much money for Slack, for work.
for
So
workhorse.
yeah, and yeah, WRK. So but anyway, let's see if maybe we could recover a little bit off of that one. So definitely something to keep an eye on there. Thanks, Sebastian. Appreciate it. Neil, what's going on? You got SPWR. Paul, have you done SPWR? If not, I'm happy to take a look at it.
No, go for it. I don't have that one.
Okay, so SPWR guys, this is just a function of the solar ETF. I mean, this ETF has just been so epic recently, and every dip has just been viable on it and just continue to work its way up, right? So SPWR, right? So SPWR again, SunPower here has just been generally pretty strong too, right? So a lot of these names gave you some upper shadows here on Friday. Or you can kind of count this 1, 2, maybe 3, 4, even kind of this 1, 2, 1, 2 type move. So again, it's been generally pretty bullish right here. Just be careful with this upper shadow right here. See how it holds. If it does another dip, and then look for a retrace on it. And see if we continue to work its way up. So good stuff there. Awesome, appreciate it. Good stuff. So Ken, what's going on? Let's take a look. You've got let's take a look at. We can't go through an evening without looking at Tesla. So Tesla, Paul, what you got on
Tesla.
Tesla?
Tesla, everyone's favorite stock, but I heard it had some crazy action after hours after the close Friday.
Oh yeah, there was a lot of folks that had Robinhood and that traded in Robinhood and weren't able to get out of their position. So Monday it gets added to the S and tomorrow it gets added to the S&P 500. So traditionally with names that get added to the S&P 500, we see a gap up. So anybody who's stuck in it, hopefully we get a nice gap up on it. But a lot of times we see it, kind of pull back, and then we see about like 2 or 3 days of pullback before it starts to get going again. So just kind of keep that in mind with Tesla, and let's see if it aligns there with the wave count.
Interesting. Yeah, I had us doing a leading diagonal for wave one, wave two down to the 50%. Wave twos can do, it might ABC on us, or it might pop from here.
Nice, good stuff. And Mark, thanks for tuning in. You got Baba.
Bob.
I know you got
Yeah,
Baba, Paul. We get a lot of
Bob.
requests on Baba.
Bob has been on the hot list for a while. Everybody's been watching it. Everybody's been waiting to buy that dip. Let's see here. So, Baba, we had a big ABC down for wave four. We had this impulsive move up for wave one, and it looks to me like we're still working on wave two. It
That's
hasn't. Here's extended hours. We're still going down, but I think it's real possible Bob is going to bounce out of here pretty quick.
interesting. Yeah, it's definitely been on a lot of folks' radar. So good stuff there. Cloud guy, you got XPEV. Have you done any
Yeah,
XPEV?
yeah, I got XPEV. That's a good one. Let's see,
Nice.
XPEV. Okay, here we go. XPEV. Okay, we had our wave one and a wave two down, which is an ABC. We had our impulsive move up, and then this looks like another ABC down right into the golden zone. I like XPEV. I think it has a good chance of going up and hopefully chopping through this cloud.
Nice. Definitely keep an eye on the Chinese electric vehicle names as a whole too. That we could see if NIO gets some good news, maybe XPEV will move along with it. Great stuff. Appreciate it, guys. So Juan's got Amazon. I can pull up Amazon, just kind of show what I'm seeing on it.
Yeah,
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 so let's
go
see.
for it.
So Amazon, has been pretty interesting, right? I mean, this is a couple things. If you guys saw what I just tweeted out right here, I mean, it's had a big impulsive move up. It's clearly been working on this crazy triangle range. So this still could be a macro wave for A, B, C, kind of D, E, and now it's just kind of maybe trying to work its way up. So it's been a little bit tricky here on the after hours. We were really hoping if this thing was going to impulse up, we were hoping this was a wave 1, 2, 3, 4, and we were hoping that it wouldn't intersect over the start of this wave 1 right here, but it doesn't mean that it's not a 1, 2, 1, 2, right? So got a big push at the close, so let's just kind of keep an eye on it, see if it gets some strength, and see if they can close this thing towards the highs this week and get some volume in it. Right now, again, like I said, be careful this week, guys. It's a holiday week, so a lot of times we do see some low volume off of those. So good stuff there. Jolly B, what's going on? Thanks for tuning in. I really appreciate it. And Young, I'm going to take a look at one more right here. I'm going to take a look at NVIDIA. So NVIDIA has just been really tight recently. It has it's complex, right? It's just been really, really choppy. So I'm kind of looking at a little bit of a bull flag right here. Maybe this is a little impulsive wave up. It's kind of a little wave two. So let's see if we can crack out of here. I really want to see it crack out of this geometric line right here and possibly work its way up to highs. So again, and then otherwise, watch out for the geometric zone below. So those are a couple key areas right there. And we've got a couple requests out there on Disney. Paul, I don't know if you have one on Disney. If not, I'm happy to pull that one up too.
Yeah, go for that one. My chart's not
Okay,
looking.
yeah. So Disney's been pretty wild, right? So it may have been an exhaustive gap on its last move. Again, it keeps on getting weighed down by its park closures and layoffs and things like that. However, its Disney Plus numbers have been really good. Now, on top of that, the Mandalorian season just finished on Friday, and we might start seeing some more people cancel some Disney Plus accounts until Mando comes back out again. And they said they're going to do a season 3 on it next year, right? So October 2021. So it's something to keep an eye on right there. But you kind of look at it a couple different ways. If you just count this wave right here, it's kind of like a 1, 2, 3. It might be working on a wave 4, so don't be surprised if it comes back to test the gap on Disney. Okay. So good stuff there. And okay. So Laura, we already did Fedex. So take a look at Lulu. Paul, you want to take a look at Lulu? You got Futu.
Sure, Lulu. Yeah, I was going to say FoodTube real quick is looking good. We finished our wave four, and looks like we're going on an impulse up for wave five. I saw that out there for Jollibee. Glad I could get that in.
Nice, good.
And let's see, Lulu. What a move by Lulu!
Oh, it really
Wow,
is incredible, isn't it?
this was amazing. This was on the list. This was, our members caught this. Um, I was watching this wave four pull back the whole way, and we nailed it. Some people actually got in right in here, and some people held, and we actually made it all the way up. Wave three tapped its 1.618
Oh,
extension.
nice.
We got wave four coming down. Of course, wave four could ABC, wave four
ABC.
could triangle, could do a lot of things.
Yeah.
But I see a clear 1, 2, 3, and we're finishing 4.
Nice. Very nice. Good. And Michael, yeah, Fire Eye was immaculate on Friday. Let me get that Paul, unless you did one on Fire Eye recently. But yeah, those cybersecurity names were just epic on Friday. So FireEye got hacked the other day, and then I'm not sure what got this thing going again, but a huge move on that one. Record day, solar winds, So anyway, so there you go. So you get a big hack, and it's all good, right? So what was this last news thing on here? So House Intelligence Panel says no question Russia is behind. Okay, so anyway, yeah, epic move on Fire. I've never seen this thing move like this ever, right? So that's clearly an impulsive move up. So look for a retrace on that one and see if it wants to continue to be strong. But it's tricky little name right there. So good stuff. And Matthew, thanks for tuning in. Good to see you. So you've got Yum and 4 for the upside. Paul, you want to take a stab at one of those, Yum or 4?
4, which
You know what it is? FOUR. Yum. I know Yum Brands is an interesting one.
I don't have either of those, but let me
See, let's
let me
pull something up there on
let me whip up something
Yum.
on weight basis and
There
see
you go.
what we got here. All right, Yum. So yeah, it looks impulsive to me. We got a 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. And it looks like we're working on wave wave 3 of 5. 1, 2, 3. Okay, there's a 3 hiding up here.
Got it.
So yeah, I think Yum is in an impulse up. It looks really strong, actually. I'm gonna have to add that to the list.
Cool. Good, fine, awesome. Thanks, Matt. Appreciate it. Juan, thanks for tuning in. Appreciate it. Omar, what's going on? Any thought on HJLI? Let me pull that one up there. HJLI. I mean, it's a kind of a really big sideways name right here. I'd just be really careful of it. It's kind of a cheaper name. But just see if it wants to kind of pull back and kind of test these levels there and see how it holds. It seems to be bouncing off of this $8 level a lot, so that's definitely one to keep an eye on there too. So good stuff. Then look for impulsive moves and see if it's ready to roll. So good stuff. I appreciate it. What else? James, what's going on? Thanks for tuning in. Bob, what's happening? You got Uber.
Uber. I got a good one on Uber.
Nice.
I think Uber is getting ready to launch here. Let me find it.
Yeah, I saw Uber was pulling back a little bit. I just didn't see how far back it was pulling.
I was just looking at this before the show kind of randomly, and here's what I got. I haven't really fleshed out this count, but I think the skeleton count here is a wave 1 up, 1, 2, 3, and we're doing a wave 4 down.
Possible
The
zigzag
382 is right here, so I think we could go right down into the cloud into the 382, and then bounce up for a strong wave 4.
Gotcha. Yeah. So look for the zigzag down and see if that can prove itself being done with an impulsive move up, and then we'll try to ride the wave up on that. So good stuff, Omar. What's going on? Thanks for tuning in. PLTR we covered. Go Philip. What's going on? We looked at Amazon already. 2020 we definitely looked at RKT. Vegan Donut Forever. What's going on? We looked at Baba for sure. What else? What else? What else? Sorry, it's kind of jumping. My YouTube is jumping around right here. Sorry, guys. So good. Sarah, we looked at Lulu, but you also got Big C on there. Paula,
Big
have you done
C,
Big C recently?
I got something on Big C. Yeah, let's see.
Nice.
Big C. Big C. What do I got here? Okay, so for Big C, what I have is we had an ABC for a wave 2. We had our impulsive wave 1 up, and it looks like we had a fairly long wave 2 all the way down to the 786. The previous low is this dash line, so as long as we don't break that, this counts on, and I think we're headed up for a wave 3.
Nice. So definitely want to keep an eye on there. Good stuff. Thanks, Sarah. Appreciate it. And Ria, we definitely looked at Facebook a little bit earlier. So if you tuned in late, definitely go back to the beginning of the video and check that one out too. And Cecilia, we definitely looked at Baba and Jollibee. Futu, we looked at. And the Whiz Kid, what's going on? QCOM. QCOM's a tricky one, Paul. I don't know if you have that one.
I don't actually.
Okay. Yeah, let me pull up QCOM. This is one of those trickier names to trade right there, but sometimes it gives this nice move up, but then it gets really grindy for a while. Or you kind of look at this as kind of this 1-2. This could be your gap up for the wave 3 finish right here, and it might be working on a wave 4. So just kind of keep an eye out there. The wave 4 is oftentimes a 382, and it is kind of holding onto the 382 right here. So this might be a little sub wave in here. So just kind of see how it holds these levels and see if it starts to impulse up and maybe goes for that gap. So good stuff there. Nice, it was good. Appreciate it. And son, eBay. I know. Paul's got a chart on eBay.
eBay, yeah. Let's see what eBay is up to. Let's see. Oh, eBay. Oh, yeah. eBay's been a good one here. Let's see. 2 more. Okay. So what I had is here. We had this wave 1 up. This wave 2 took a long time to finish. It finished almost right at the 618. Looks like the buyer stepped in right before the 618. And I have us now in a 1, 2, 3, 4, pretty much, your basic flag break. So this could be breaking out.
Nice on eBay. Good stuff there. So good stuff, guys. We don't have much time left here to go through much more, so I'm just going to pick a few. I really appreciate everybody for tuning in and for your charts. Nikki, Nicole, really appreciate it. And just a couple more charts here we'll grab. We've looked at a lot of. If you guys have checked some and you tuned in late, definitely tune back in because Ria, we looked at a lot of ones. We looked at Facebook, we looked at Snow and things like that. So we've got 2 out there. We looked at FSLY and those. So let's take a look at 2 more. Let's look at. We've got a couple requests. A lot of folks want this the Johnson and Johnson. So let's look at pins and Johnson and Johnson and see how those look there. Do you have anything on pins, Paul?
I believe so. Let's see, pins. Actually,
Getting tight.
I don't have much on pins actually, except that we're in an impulsive wave 5, kind of sideways right now.
Let me take a look at it too. Just kind of look at the candles here and see what we're doing on the. Yeah, I mean, this just looks like some crazy choppy price action right now. So honestly, guys, all I'm waiting for on this right now is some sort of clue that this thing's ready to go. Right, so we just haven't broke out of any geometric lines recently with any sort of strength or any sort of volume. So again, at this point now, we got kind of a geometric line right here. See if we can get a nice candle with some good volume that closes towards the size and see if it's ready to start going again. Then we can get a fresh count on it. So we'll keep an eye on those there. And then what was the other one that we just mentioned? Pins and Johnson and Johnson. A lot of folks asking about J&J.
Let me see if I have J&J. Let me see. J&J. Okay, what do we got here for J&J? I have J&J doing a 1-2, 1-2, and it looks like we're going in an impulsive move up right now, and JJ in another impulse for another 1-2. But actually, it does look pretty bullish. We're above the 8, we're above the cloud. Fast retraces here. Strong volume. I think JJ looks bullish.
Nice. Definitely a good one to keep an eye on too. So awesome, guys. Well, I really appreciate everybody for tuning in. If we didn't get to your chart request tonight, I apologize for it. We've got a little bit of a time crunch here, and we're really happy and thankful that we've got Paul here with us here this evening again. Paul, again, thanks again for being a part of it. So, guys, one thing that we're doing, it's amazing. So we've got a really great group. We've got our Discord, and of course, in addition to the bubble report, but in the Discord and in our in our private group, in the private Twitter, and We have some members that really, are very generous and have done really well, right? So, because Paul's with us all the time, and in the Discord here, he's there. If you guys are learning Elliott Wave, you can, he's there to help, help you with your wave counts, and try to see how things are looking in there. He'll map it out if he can, if he's got time for it, to help folks out there. So some of our members are, so generous and so happy about all the success that they've had in the group, that they've donated to add more members to our group to pay for a free month for people. So that's been really incredible. We had 5 folks that are in our group right now and are really enjoying it, and we now have 2 other members have stepped up to be. I mean, we haven't asked anybody to do this; they've just done it out of the kindness of their heart. So we've actually got room for 20 people to come in before Christmas. We're gonna do a retweet type contest again, and it's just amazing, the generosity of our group. So after the end of the show, we're going to post the video. So if you make sure you follow us on Twitter, and we're going to post that, and then we're going to retweet that. So make sure you retweet that to qualify if you guys want to be a part of the group free for a month. And we're going to pick 20 names out of all the retweets out there to be a part of the group there too. So if you're not interested in being a part, leaving it up to chance, feel free to join us. The links are in the description there. We'd love to have you in the group. You can start off simply by just being a part of the bubblereport.com. That just is the morning newsletter that comes out every morning at 7:30 Eastern time. And again, Paul puts 2 wave counts in there, and I do my morning S&P analysis and look at different sectors. We go through unusual option activity, things like that. And then you can upgrade there if you want to get the elite access, the full membership to the group, or you can just join straight up in the group, and the links there, the Trade with Paul link too. So either way, we'll get that tweeted out tonight for you guys to retweet. And again, I really appreciate everybody for tuning in this evening and being a part of it. And Paul, thanks again, man, for being here. It's been great. It's been fun as usual.
Thank you, John. Good times.
Awesome, guys. All right, guys. Well, I appreciate everybody. We'll see everybody bright and early. Remember, it's a short week this week, but we'll see everybody bright and early in the morning. And stay healthy out there. And remember, your risk first and stay safe so you can stay in the game. And I'll talk to you guys.